What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, managing editor at FightfulWrestling.com. It is July 2nd. If you're watching this, maybe delayed, whatever. Happy Canada Day. Happy Independence Day. Lots of stuff going on this week, from New Japan G1 Dallas to Impact Slammiversary, UFC 239. We got coverage for it all, but tonight we are covering SmackDown Live. And we are joined by a somewhat new face. You all saw him at Super Showdown. I don't know what kind of sunglass gimmick he's working right here. Andrew Thompson.
What's up, Sean Ross Sapp? How you feeling?
And now you're throwing it away. Now people are going to go, what was he talking about? What was he talking about? You guys know Andrew. He's interviewed, God, who hasn't he interviewed at this point? Jungle Boy, TJP, Jimmy Havoc, kind of. That one went well. Who else? Like, gosh, Nick Gage. You befriended Nick Gage. Andrew Nick Gage introduced me to Nick Gage, and as he approached Nick Gage, he goes, "There's my dude, Andrew." And I was like, okay, this is something. But Andrew's joining us tonight. Make sure you guys follow him at @Thompson __. Andrew, it's a new era, so to speak, in WWE.
Eric Bischoff was definitely not back tonight, buddy. It felt like the same. it felt like the same thing it was last week. I mean,
hey, hold on now. Kofi Kingston flipped a man off.
Oh yeah, okay. Point taken.
We got that. So, reminder, guys, leave a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe. Our third birthday is this week. Ooh. We're going to talk all about it on the Listen Ya Boy this Wednesday, presumably live. But if you want your question read on the air, or you want your statement read on the air, donate a super chat, and you'll get that read. But you can ask as many questions as you want if you subscribe to Fightful Select. Enough of the plugs right now. Let's go ahead and talk about this show. Kevin Owens comes out, and he's reading cue cards for the KO show, the Kevin Owens show. He's pretending that he doesn't know The Undertaker's nickname. This entire segment, Andrew, felt like we were just primed for a Kevin Owens face turn.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Kevin Owens does this thing where, like, okay, so if he, like when he was reading Shane McMahon's cue card, he was like, the best, and then he had to flip it. It was like, well, in the world, yeah, Kevin Owens.
I love it. I love him not knowing anybody's nickname off the top of his head, or at least pretending. Drew and Shane come out, and I got to say, I've had enough of Shane's like extra entrances and all that. Greg Hamilton was phenomenal here, Andrew.
Yeah, Greg Hamilton blows Mike Rome out of the water. I know Mike Rome's like a little bit embarrassed, like on the inside. Like I know he's really embarrassed that Greg Hamilton just outdoes him like that.
Greg's got those pipes, and that's a Blue Chew segue right there. But I'm not going there. Shane McMahon says he's not afraid of The Undertaker. And now their match is going to be no holds barred. Does this do anything for you, Andrew? Does the stipulation change from just a tag match to no holds barred change anything?
Man, I'm really looking forward to The Undertaker taking that elbow off the Shane fly off the top rope. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm pretty sure he's going to move out the way. Undertaker ain't taking that.
No way he takes that. Now, here's the thing. It's no hold barred, so there are no moves that are barred. But do you think they'll still enforce tags?
Definitely. I think they will.
And that's the thing. They'll try to make it seem like they have to enforce tags, but there are no holds barred. They can do any moves they want, but if they tag in or tag out and stay in too long, is that a DQ? They need Corey Graves on WWE.com to distinguish the difference here, Andrew.
Definitely. And then the last thing we need is Drew McIntyre talking about people getting complacent in the ring. That's the last thing we need. He does that every interview.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't like that. That ain't my jam. Dolph Ziggler comes out as things get heated. Why do things get heated? Well, because Kevin Owens goes off of Shane McMahon's little script that he has, Andrew. You can tell that Shane isn't happy. He wants Kevin to follow his protocol, all that stuff. And you really do see it. I mean, like I said, so much of this show was setting up a KO face turn. And it seemed like we got it at the end of the night, which we'll get to. But Dolph Ziggler comes out, and Kevin Owens really lets Dolph Ziggler have it. I'm going to find the direct quote, but this was an oh shit moment to me just because I love that he went there, Andrew.
Kevin Owens definitely said what we all have been saying for the past couple of weeks. Your turn was 8 years ago. It happened. Well, it sort of happened. And now it's not happening, and it's never going to happen.
Yeah, I don't even have to quote it. That was exactly what he said. And then he said, so get over it. And the crowd went bananas.
Yes.
It was perfect.
And then, of course, Dolph Ziggler went to the fat joke. And that, I mean.
Yeah. So Ziggler said, the only thing you could beat me at is a hot dog eating contest. And Kevin Owens goes, well, you know what? If there was one, I'd beat you at that. Because you don't win at that. You don't win at wrestling matches. You don't win at anything.
Sometimes I wonder, like, when I try to catch people's reactions, like, I wonder if, like, it stings a little bit. Like, even though it's a line, like, I always wonder, like, if it hits them on the inside a little bit.
Well, I think a guy like Kevin Owens, I'm like, man, I think he knows by now. He knows his physique. He gets it. Ultimately he's a performer. He's an entertainer, and I think he gets it. And the fact that he was able to go back at Dolph Ziggler like that, I think that goes a long way. Because I mean, he won the promo. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, he definitely did.
This is like Eminem at the end of 8 Mile. It's like Dolph Ziggler said a bunch of stuff that everybody already knew about Kevin Owens that they say over and over and over and over and over again. And Kevin Owens said exactly what we've all wanted somebody to say to Dolph Ziggler throughout this entire push where he didn't win anything.
Yeah, 8 Mile references on the podcast.
That's what he did.
2 points for the Raw Sapp, man.
He rabbited. He papa-docked.
You papa-doc, yeah.
Dolph Ziggler. That's what happened here. So Shane says, oh, well, you know what? You guys are going to face Heavy Machinery tonight. They wanted to fight each other, but he's like, no. You know it'd be better? You all against Heavy Machinery.
The two guys who don't like each other teaming up. How original.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, you've got 2 former world champions that want to fight each other on your show. And you're like, okay, Heavy Machinery. Now, granted, I'm cool with there being stakes. I'm glad they added that. A little backstage news. There had been a pitch over the last week to get Ali and Dolph Ziggler involved in a feud. Is that doing anything for you?
No, because I feel like Dolph Ziggler he's been that guy for a long time. You know, the guy who comes in and try to get a good match out of Ali's not necessarily new, but in a sense he is to the main roster. So I mean, it didn't work out with Shinsuke, it didn't work out with a couple of other guys, and I don't think it's going. It might work out with Ali.
Yeah, speaking of Ali, he was on a dark match facing Buddy Murphy tonight, and he had a promo. One of his styled vignettes where he said that a lot of people go after the WWE Championship for fame or for money. He wants to do it to make a change. How do you like these promos, which are a little bit different than the ones that he would do on his own, but in the similar fashion?
I do like Ali's promos. I remember he shouted out the guy who produces those for him. I can't remember his name right now, but Ali, he does like a real good job with those. And like the story between him and Kofi Kingston, that thing writes itself. Like Kofi took his spot in the Elimination Chamber, and Kofi's living a dream, and that Ali always wondered if that could have been him. That story is already written, man.
Lonnie Barker, thank you for the super chat. Remember, guys, if you submit a super chat, you get your question or statement read on the air. Second week in 3 that Roman wasn't on Raw or SmackDown. Yeah, his absence is a little weird, isn't it? Like he's never on SmackDown anymore.
It's a little odd. It's a little odd.
Do you think they just need to redraft these damn rosters?
Yeah, definitely.
I think they need to do a reset ahead of October.
Oh, wild card thing. Like I can't even remember who's on who now. Like unless they show it on a graphic, like the color scheme, I honestly couldn't tell you who's on which brand. And
the thing is, I mean, this isn't like me and you don't pay attention to the show. We're working, both of us, 12 to 14 hours a day covering pro wrestling, and we don't remember who's on what brand.
It's too difficult to remember.
So how does everybody else? Maybe we've just got shit memories. I don't know. I don't think that's the case. It's really confusing. I really think they need to differentiate the rosters before they do this. When I say this, I mean the Eric Bischoff, Paul Heyman split, which I assume will take full control or full effect towards the summer, and then in the fall. By the way, guys, I have a column dropping tomorrow it's basically everything you need to know about Bischoff and Heyman and what their roles will be and what's going on and how people feel backstage. Andrew did a lot of transcribing that I used for that across Bischoff's own words, across Heyman thinking that the GM role was tired and their thoughts on that. You all can read that now at Tier 2 at Fightful Select, but you got to differentiate these rosters, right?
I wanted to ask you, do you think they're going to go like full like Bischoff in control, Heyman in control before SummerSlam? Because that's like at the Extreme Rules, we got like 3 weeks.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like the chatter I heard, the exact phrase that I was told was Bischoff was taking control towards SummerSlam. Now, I don't know if that meant like the week after Extreme Rules or if that meant like a week before SummerSlam. It's impossible for me to know. But as far as Heyman, I mean, if he wasn't in control last night and if he wasn't more influenced, you wouldn't be able to tell it by his Twitter feed because he was retweeting all this praise.
Compliments. Yeah, I saw that too.
All these compliments. And let me tell you guys, I've interacted with Heyman in the past. He's not one to shy away from a compliment or accepting one. As you know, the guy likes being put over a little bit. And last night's Raw was different. So there we go. Now, backstage, Daniel Bryan is not happy about Ziggler and Owens getting this opportunity at all, understandably so. And then I see him against Big E. This is the type of match that I really want to see 15 minutes with some stakes because I think this can be like I fully believe that Big E and Daniel Bryan can have a match of the year contender in WWE if they have a big stage. I don't know that that will ever happen necessarily, but it should. What kind of hopes did you have for this match when you saw them in the ring?
I knew it was gonna be good. Like we all talked about this. Like I see you and Alex talk about all the time. You know, when sometimes we kind of forget how good members of the New Day are when they are in singles competition. Like each of them can go by themselves, like without the shenanigans or whatever. And we all know Daniel Bryan's like one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
So
I think all three members of the New Day are main event caliber in that ring. And the thing is, I think Xavier is just right under it as far as promos go. Like, I think Big E could cut a main event promo. I know Kofi Kingston can, and I think Xavier Woods, if he needed to, could.
Yeah, see, I was going to bring up Xavier Woods. See, the thing about him, I feel like he's the most like underrated in ring wise amongst all the New Day, because I remember they had that U.S. Championship tournament. I think it was 2018. It was the one to 2017, the one where Bobby Roode won it. But Xavier, he did real good in that. Like he just showed that he can go with anybody singles wise.
I think that Xavier Woods, especially lately, he's been able to show it a little bit more. I think that he's one of the best workers that they have right now, especially on SmackDown Live. But Big E turns Bryan inside out with a clothesline. They do little spots during the break, nothing major. Bryan's working Big E's leg, but upon the return from the break, Big E suplexes Bryan all over the place. I love the spot where they switched up their dives. Bryan ate a splash, but then he made Big E whiff on the YOLO dive. And then Big E caught Bryan on his dive. Beginning of the end comes when Rowan runs Big E into the ring post and Bryan finishes him off. Now, I got no problem with this. Usually they protect Big E pretty heavily. Big E, for like a year, it felt like, didn't need any pins. I'm okay with Daniel Bryan, former WrestleMania main eventer champion, beating him with some help. And I thought it set up what happened at the end of the night. How'd you feel about the match and the result?
Let's say I like you said, I have no problem with the way the finish went down. See, the thing is, Xavier Woods, I think he pinned Daniel Bryan got beat twice clean, like within the past several weeks. So I think it was only right for him to get that win back. And I just wanted to add, like, is it me or like is it everybody else? But like doing these Daniel Bryan matches, like I'm kind of past the point. Like he always grabs for his head, like get that. I hate when he does it, but like I'm starting to get past the point like where I don't pay attention to it because I know he's just selling.
Yeah, and he knows. He knows what he's doing. He's smart. The sharpshooter, thank you for the super chat, says, come October, your top 3 picks to build the brands for Raw and USA, and SmackDown on Fox if they keep the brand separated. This is an interesting question. So
who's on what brand?
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, I think that at this point, legitimately, my top pick, if they were to do a redraft, I think the number 1 pick overall got to be the New Day. Why wouldn't it be the New Day?
Okay, that's interesting.
Why wouldn't it be? You're getting Kofi Kingston, arguably the best built champion on a weekly basis, I should say.
Kofi is protected in a good way.
The best built champion that they have had on a weekly basis on that show in years, and a top flight tag team and a 6-man tag team. So if you're a GM, quote unquote, and you could draft them, I would take those guys because you're getting the win. I mean, it's got to be them at the top, like as one act. Then I would probably say, honestly, if you could get her back, Sasha Banks would be a top one.
Definitely.
And if you had to go, man, that's tough because I'm looking up and down this whole roster. If you take the New Day, then the other one might want to take the Club if you can get a 3-for-1 there.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of your picks to start brands with as I kind of think this over?
Start Brentwood for Raw on the USA Network. Just off the top, I gotta go Seth Rollins. Like I'll definitely pick Seth Rollins for Raw. The women's division right now, Raw. I mean, you can't go wrong with Becky Lynch. You just can't. And another person I started off with, I'm trying to think of who's else.
I'd go Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, and the Club as 3 acts, and then I'd go New Day. I'd go New Day, Charlotte Flair, and Roman Reigns on the other.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Reigns. Yeah,
I think that's the because I mean the thing is you probably aren't getting Sasha back. Yeah, and that's no slight to anybody we didn't mention, but I mean you're talking about 3 major acts. They can make the Club a major act if they so choose. Imagine if they roll Finn Balor into that too.
Man, when they did that thing last night, I was praying that just somehow somebody who was within that creative process is just like, we gotta get Finn Balor in here somewhere.
Do you know how insane a future Club Undisputed Era feud would be?
It writes itself.
It's there.
It's there. It's literally
there.
Writes itself.
Tim Traver, thank you. One of our greatest supporters says, I want to bless you all and plug your all show for years to come. Love you, Fightful. Also, I feel like we had another one. Oh, Wild Boy 87 says, welcome, Andrew. Cool dude, he says.
That's my guy right there.
He's great. He keeps putting over his cooking. I can't wait to try it. I can't wait. Up next, we have R-Truth being interviewed, looks back at losing his title, cuts kind of a confusing promo about honeymoons, but then he heard that Maverick is in San Antonio. San Antonio sucks, first off. I just want to get that out of the way. San Antonio blows.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder Kawhi Leonard wanted to hit the bricks and go to the beautiful city of Toronto.
And he's about to leave Toronto.
Yeah, I doubt it. He'll stay forever.
But Sean, these honeymoon segments with R-Truth and Drake Maverick and Renee Michelle are about to be gold. Now,
I can't wait.
I do got a question for you. Just a random prediction. How many views within the first 24 hours when they do the first honeymoon segment? Because you know they're going to do one.
Oh, it's going to hit 1.5 easily. They've slowed down a little bit, but they're still all hitting 1 million. And that's the thing, man. It depends on what they do. Like, do they do it in the middle of him consummating the marriage?
You got. I mean, well, look.
You have to.
Yeah. I didn't want to say because you're not like some people. They might get like they've been blessed a little too much. But
some people will get butt hurt if R-Truth is in bed with Drake Maverick and pins him.
but see, I noticed that the 24/7 title segments, the ones that they do off TV, they do well numbers wise, opposed to the ones that they do on TV, like way better.
Like there is no reason why R-Truth shouldn't pin Drake Maverick while he's trying to consummate the marriage, and then after Maverick loses, Renee says, "Wow, you never last 3 seconds with me," and then bam, segment over.
Exactly. And then out of all this, you got Renee Michelle out here getting TV time. And she was in the Mae Young Classic.
She was in the Mae Young Classic. She wrestled Candice LeRae.
Mm-hmm. Now she out here getting TV time.
Shelton Benjamin got some TV time. Is he running a death gimmick? And if he is, can we get him to team with EC3?
Man, what in the hell happened to Shelton Benjamin? Like, he's off the radar, man. Off the radar. But I don't know what that segment was.
He was my last favorite wrestler. period.
Wow.
My last one before I got into media and I was like, okay, I can't be biased. I so badly at some point want an angry old man tag team with Shelton Benjamin and Randy Orton as like the two OVW guys that hate everything. They hate today's wrestling. They hate it all. And they just want to beat the snot out of people. Well, Alistair Black wants to beat the snot out of somebody and implies that it will happen at Extreme Rules. Who do you think it'll be?
Can I get a Bray Wyatt for 2, please?
No, that ain't happening.
I hope not. I mean, I'm dreaming, but I honestly, out of everybody, like the person I could think of right now, like I say Buddy Murphy just to go safe. Like that's the person I can think of. I think Buddy Murphy. I don't think Bray Wyatt's I think Bray Wyatt versus Alistair. I think that's like a SummerSlam type of thing, and I hope that Bray Wyatt's mystique doesn't wear off when he does finally decide to reappear on television.
Do you know what I wouldn't hate if Alistair Black got like a big name opponent like Randy Orton, beat him immediately, then did that on every SmackDown that led up to SummerSlam, and then as he's just running through people with black mass over and over again, almost to like an annoying level, he does this open challenge thing again, and that's where Bray Wyatt shows up at.
Now I got a question for you and put you on the spot. SummerSlam, Alistair Black versus Bray Wyatt. Who you putting over? You got to make a choice.
Bray. I think you gotta put Bray over, man.
I mean, you do, but I mean, like, after building Alistair like that, and then
but look at how they've built Bray too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too, man.
Wow, we got some major super chats. A couple $20 ones. Sean Muldown, he says, been listening to SRS for years and just want to support Fightful. Get that select. Thank you guys so much. I can't tell you how important that is to us and the brand. Fightful Select this week is probably my best podcast work ever with Mr. Warren Hayes. We reviewed the atrocity that was AWA Super Clash 3. That goes up Wednesday night. We have a preview clip on our channel. So after this, go look at this 8-minute clip that I posted about the Lingerie Battle Royal. And it was for, Andrew, I think it was for roughly $24,100, 2019 bucks. I did the conversion. But we had the NXT 205 Live UK review from Warren Hayes. We have the Weekender podcast, which covers non-WWE stuff. I have the Fightful Backstage Report every single week. We put a lot of work into that. You get the Fightful Wrestling weekly early. But this week, Jimmy Van is also filming a Q&A. He does it every quarter. I do at least 2 a month over there. That will eventually move up to 1 week or 1 per week. But you all can ask us as many questions as you want when you subscribe. There is no limit. Speaking of Warren Hayes, New Japan G1 Dallas post show this Saturday. He is confirmed. Zachary Schimmel, who joins us on a future retro review. Actually, he's been on a couple. He says, love Fightful. Andrew, love your interviews. Just because I love hearing this story and I think the rest of the community should hear it. Sean, why do you hate San Antonio crowds? I don't hate San Antonio crowds. Andrew, have you ever been to San Antonio?
Never.
Lucky, wonderful. Glad.
This is not a good place?
No, it's terrible. I went to San Antonio to the Alamo Dome. It was like I was stuck in the 30s.
Ain't that the point?
No, not in the whole city. Like, unless you hit the Riverwalk, it's like you're in the 30s. Keep in mind, I'm from a city of 200. Jeez. So after the Royal Rumble, keep in mind, there are 40, 50,000 people there. You got to park in somebody's yard, Andrew, in a different neighborhood, because parking at the Alamo Dome is so trash. It takes you forever to get to your car. And I will forever hold a grudge against the terrible city of San Antonio. I went into a grocery store there, Andrew, and they keep the nail clippers next to the cereal.
How dare they?
If you get kicks there, you can also go and get a pedicure, manicure, whatever the hell it is. I don't know what the hell it is with your toes. But you get to do your toes while you're eating your Captain Crunch. It's disgusting. Stop putting the toenail clippers next to the cereal, San Antonio.
Shame on them for
Ugh.
offering multiple services. Shame, San Antonio.
Look at Wild Boy 87. Are we even going to get to review SmackDown anymore? This super chat love is going crazy.
Boom.
He says, I went into this too. If it's not reported by SRS and Fightful, I don't believe it. Thank you to the entire Fightful team for your continued hard work. My God. I'm shook. Happy birthday to Fightful.
Also coming this weekend to select the written version of the TJP article, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the TJP article is doing very good. He got very candid with you about how much he likes his freedom and all that. That's a very, very good interview. Guys, hit up the website and just go to the exclusives tab. We got lots of neat stuff. I guess we should go ahead.
Can I break a little bit of news right here, Sean Rose?
Yeah, sure.
So coming at sometime soon, whenever the NWA decides to announce Sienna's next opponent, I will be dropping my interview with the NWA World Women's Champion.
Hey, I like it. I like it.
Boom.
Also, next week, guys, we have an interview with Kip Sabian of AEW. My God.
That was a good one. I was there.
My God.
That was a good one. Kip's a cool guy.
He is. He's a very cool guy. We had Moment of Bliss, and Alexa Bliss wanted Nikki Cross to host this, Andrew, and Nikki was hesitant. She plays up her role so well.
She really does. I'm starting to think that this like nice girl Nikki Cross, like trying to act like she doesn't act like she knows whatever's going. I think it's going to like take a real dark turn, like
fake naive.
Yeah, because she's starting to become like obsessed with Alexa, and it's going to turn dark at one point. I hope.
So I mentioned on Twitter, and a lot of people were confused. I wanted to use it to reel them into the podcast. I said that I thought Nikki Cross was a lot of what they wanted Bayley to be, but they fumbled the booking. By that, I mean trusting, sympathetic, empathetic, naive, vulnerable, all those things that it was really hard for them to book Bayley as all those things, Andrew, because she was this NXT Women's Champion and had these amazing matches, one of the greatest matches in American women's wrestling history.
Definitely.
Meanwhile, Nikki was completely forgotten about on TV until Alexa found her. It's a little bit easier for Nikki to play this role, and I think she's really taking advantage and doing it well.
Yeah, just going back to your Bayley point, I feel like Bayley was just miscast. I'm not going to say miscast, but I feel like they didn't actually know what to do with her or what her character was. Like they just see this happy-go-lucky girl, like, oh, she's happy, but what do we do with her? And I think Nikki Cross is like just thriving, like you said, in that role that should have honestly been for Bayley back then. But I mean, we at this point now, so.
Bayley comes out and wants to know why Nikki is letting herself be used. And all Nikki wants to know is, why are you mean to Alexa?
All right. Yeah, wait, didn't you like when Nikki Cross, like she like I sounds she doing the innocent thing, when she came out, she was like, just so you guys know, the reason I have an accent is because I'm from Scotland.
Yes.
I was like, look at Nikki, man.
It's
look
great.
At Nikki.
One of my favorite parts, underrated, is her hopping into the seat.
Exactly.
She jumped into the seat.
How tall Bayley, is Nikki? Like 4'9", isn't she?
She's little.
She's a little lady.
Bayley wants to know why she's not facing Nikki Cross at Extreme Rules, and Nikki says they can have a match now. It ends really quickly. Nikki gets a big body press and a bulldog. I loved the suplex that Bayley did off the second rope. It was a front suplex, but it swung off. Yeah. Now, I know that Ember a lot of times and Sasha would do the turnaround suplex, the swinging suplex, but this one was really good. Bayley to belly, and Nikki loses in a few minutes. I don't really like that. I think that Nikki should have been kept strong.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the same time, like you got to keep Bayley strong because Bayley kind of been taking the L's. But at the same time, like it's kind of like what I thought was going to happen was that Nikki was going to beat her, and then it was going to add to her case to being added to the SmackDown Women's title match at Extreme Rules. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, my thing is, I don't need either one of these two to lose the match. I don't need the match if it's going to be 2 minutes. It could be something else. They could have different opponents and try to one-up each other for all I care. What's Alicia Fox doing? She hasn't been back since her return. So, I mean, have her come out there and job to somebody in a couple minutes.
Ooh, Alicia, man.
That's a mess. That's a mess.
That's the subject right there.
So, man, for some reason, the SmackDown roster was up instead of my notes. Joe and Kofi Kingston face-to-face. Joe tells Charlie to hit the bricks.
Man, a banger segment.
This was good. My God.
Banger.
We have another major super chat from Mr. Big Bad Bean.
Nice name, buddy.
Happy birthday, Fightful. I'm behind on the stream, but wanted to get in on the action. I thank you so much. Another one from MH says, being a truck driver and listening for almost 2 years, I appreciate what the Fightful team does. Thank you, guys. No, thank you, guys. I don't think you all are going to find a single outlet online that is more interactive than us. On our Q&As, we answer every single question you all send on Fightful Select. I've done shows everywhere from 20 minutes up to like an hour and a half on that service. So eventually we're going to get Andrew and Jeremy in on those. That way you can get Jeremy's garbage Oklahoma City Thunder takes. I'm really excited about that.
Lord.
The only reason I can say this is because I know he's not listening because he's on vacation right now. So he won't come for me. So Joe is trying to get personal. He's trying to get in Kofi's head this whole time. He's really trying to work in there. He's mentioning benevolence and being a merchandise shill, and he mentions his kid, Andrew. Kofi doesn't fall for it.
He held his own for sure. Like the one, okay, so I admit, when they first announced the face-to-face and I saw Kayla Braxton in the ring, I'm like, oh, they're going to do a promo like back-to-back. And I was worried for Kofi because, you know, Joe is such a good promo guy. He's such a good talker. And I'm like, I hope Kofi going to be able to hold his own, like standing face-to-face with Joe, because I know Joe going to hit him hard. And I was like, when Kofi kept hitting him back, I'm like, okay, Kofi's really holding his own. I was surprised, like genuinely surprised.
Yeah, and Samoa Joe wanted to shake Kofi's hand, and Kofi just flipped him off. And it was the best part of it, Andrew. He did it with this big smile on his face.
Oh yeah, that was the best part. Wait. So I'm trying to figure out, was the camera missing that shot on purpose?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, okay. But I mean, they still caught it. Like they caught like a half a second of it. Like you can still like visually see it in the finger.
I got a screenshot of it posted up as well. They blacked it out overseas in Australia. Ooh. So they didn't show it. I like this. Little things like this go a long way because a lot of people feel like their wrestling is a little too sanitized, Andrew.
That middle finger was for all the folks who say, "Oh, Kofi needs to stop throwing pancakes." Well, there you go, Kofi. You want edge from Kofi? There you go.
Andrew, noted friend of Nick Gage, who knows
knows a little something about throwing middle fingers.
Yeah. We got another big super chat. Sean Muldowney says, get Select, folks. Did you feel as much of a Bischoff influence in this episode as you may have in Raw last night for Heyman? No. From what I understand, there wasn't any. He might have been there, but I don't think there was any influence. But thank you. Because of all the super chats, I'm not doing an ad read tonight. I'll actually, this is probably our best super chat day ever. So thank you guys for that. What about you? To me, it didn't seem like there was really any Bischoff influence.
Yes, going into it, like, of course, you know, I'm excited about the, you know, the Heyman thing and Bischoff, but I mean, like going into tonight, I'm like, man, Bischoff hasn't been like here, like in forever. Like, I don't expect him to come in and just be like, hey, do this, we're doing that, this is going to happen, and this is what we're going to do next week. I'm pretty sure he was just back there, like just seeing how everything, you know, goes well. I mean, it just goes, and then hopefully he'll take over soon. Probably.
Bob Harris, thank you for the super chat. Kristen Ashley, thank you for the super chat. Guys, check out belltobells.com.
Kristen.
Pizza, Beer, and Wrestling says, didn't realize it was a birthday today. Happy birthday, Fightful. Sean, I bust your balls from time to time, but I dig your work. My go-to news site. Yeah, we launched 3 years ago this week. And the reason we launched 3 years ago this week, I actually rushed the development team. People, you all might not know who Lindsay is. Lindsay does a lot of work for us, but they got the site ready because I was like, we have to have this website ready for UFC 200. Brock Lesnar, WWE superstar, is fighting in a huge fight. We have to have it ready. And that week we did I think I did like 6 hours of podcasts, and John Jones got popped for steroids. So I did another 6 hours of podcast just from that. It was an unbelievable experience and just an insane ride. And I'm so glad that you all are here with us too, because I mean, quite frankly, a lot of you all followed me from my old employer, and now 90% of my following comes from this website. Wildboy87 says, I got paid yesterday and no bills due this week. Enjoy. Thank you, my friend. Ember Moon backstage. She's angry, then happy, then angry again. I don't know what's going on there, but I know that her and Mandy had about as good of a 2-minute match as you can have, Andrew. This is pretty good.
Yeah, they had a good match. I mean, was this the payoff to everything? Like for the stuff they've been doing over that? Like was this like the big voila?
I guess sometimes you just get knocked out in a couple minutes.
I guess so. Yeah, it's crazy. I think that was Ember's first singles win on TV since like December. Like that is crazy. Yeah, I think it was against check the December 10th edition of Monday Night Raw.
Oh, I got her whole record up here, but yeah, cool. Mandy lands a good knee and an inverted gut wrench suplex that were nice, but Ember lands this flying code breaker in a great eclipse and wins the match. I'm okay with that. It was short. It was sweet. It can be that. It was Ember Moon's. It was her first pinfall victory since a gauntlet match on December 17th, but she beat Tamina the week before, because right after she won the gauntlet, the singles match in the gauntlet, she was beaten by Natalya. So it's her first singles win since December 10th. Mm-hmm. That cannot happen with an in-ring talent at her level.
Yeah, man. I think now is the time to start doing what they did with Becky Lynch leading up to SummerSlam. Win after win, and then people eventually get behind her.
I'm going to save these super chats for after this segment because we got even more.
Something crazy happened.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. We have the best followers, viewers ever. And I feel like this is just a super chat celebration show. But
oh yeah, I did want to ask you, weren't they supposed to like address the fact that Kyrie and Oscar beat the Iconics to earn the like?
Of course they were.
Like, I say, aren't they number one contenders now? Because they beat them twice over the weekend in Japan.
That happened, and there were no Iconics on this whole show on all the week, and there were no Kabuki Warriors either.
Yeah, man. Like I know I saw like sites writing the stories like about them being the number one contenders, but WWE never pushed out like a single notification about them being number one contenders. I'm like, what happened to that? Did they forget they had this tag times?
Yeah, it seems like it. They got to develop some teams. My God, man. So the main event match, the top contender match, Heavy Machinery defeated Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. This quickly breaks down outside. Why is that? There's a whole table of pancakes.
Gotta love it.
Rowan, Bryan, and New Day all battle, and Rowan throws pancakes everywhere.
You want to know the funny thing about Rowan? Like, I don't know if you noticed this, but did you realize that he doesn't watch the matches? Like, he just sits straight. he just sits straight the whole time. And then the funny thing was Daniel Bryan sitting here slandering Xavier Woods the whole time, and Xavier Woods seemed like he got kind of flustered.
I think that Rowan is far better than anybody gives him credit for.
Definitely.
That guy's worked his ass off in the ring, and he's getting really, really good.
Just a little backstory on Rowan. Like, I listened to this interview he did. It was like some random podcast, and he said that he used to be like in a rock band, and the reason he got into wrestling was because he saw one of his best friends get killed right in front of him. Like, yeah.
Wow.
And then, like, after that, he's transitioned to wrestling, like just to not be so riled up all the time. And I was like, man.
The less riled up version of Rowan is him hitting somebody with an iron claw slam through a table.
Exactly.
Into pancakes. That's amazing. So that was at least what I considered a creative way to do a restart, I guess. But I don't like all those. But the match happens. Tucker pretty quickly takes a bump to the outside, gets isolated and worked over. Ziggler and Owens go neck breaker into senton. Otis gets the tag and a good reaction. I hope this doesn't make Vince think that this is the next single star, because it's not. Yeah, Otis is a hot tag guy, and he's real good at it, Andrew.
That's Otis has like a lot of charisma.
Yes.
Like it's kind of like you could relate them to the this specific situation to the Street Profits. Like you got like people always say when they talk about the Street Profits, they say Montez Ford is the star of the group, and then you got some like Haven Machinery. People tend to think that Otis is the star of the group because he has so much charisma. But Tucker has charisma too, but Otis is just like that upper level charisma with the I'm coming and all that stuff.
Yeah. Now, Heavy Machinery went off miscommunication from KO and Ziggler and went with the compactor. If you would have asked me, if you would have told me this happened a month ago, I'd have been like, man, I don't like it. That sucks. Heavy Machinery were built. They won matches, and they delivered at the last pay-per-view. They had a hell of a performance. They proved that they could belong in the ring. And now, Andrew, I'm stoked to see them in there with New Day and Daniel Bryan and Rowan. I can't wait for that match.
It's like you mentioned when they faced Bryan and Rowan at Stomping Ground, they had the crowd against them because, they were in Daniel Bryan's hometown. And I remember me and you talked about this. I think it was Tucker. He did real well when the crowd flipped on him. Like, he did really well. And it's good to see them getting, like, if you give people a chance, man, they'll step up to the plate or they'll fall down. And Machinery is stepping up.
So after this, Dolph Ziggler is, just kind of existing in the world. So he deserves a stunner. And Kevin Owens obliges. Is this the face turn of Kevin Owens? He said it in an interview. I believe you covered it, if I'm correct. Was it Jeremy? Yeah. Well, you're getting the credit because he's on vacation. So Andrew covered this interview that I edited and forgot who wrote it. And he said he wanted to be a babyface. Mm-hmm. I'm good with that. He wants to be a babyface. He doesn't necessarily want to do stuff with Sammy all the time. That's big, man.
I think that's what's about to happen. They kind of get him away from Sami Zayn, and I think Kevin Owens could be a good baby. Like I thought they were doing that, when they had with him going to the movies with his son and stuff. Like I thought that was the Kevin Owens baby face, and people were rooting for him, and then they flipped him right back because he is a good heel, a great heel. But never.
That was SmackDown. I thought it was okay. It was okay. There was some stuff on there, but
Eric Bischoff is not back, folks.
Not yet. Man, let's run down these super chats. I say that I'm going to read all these. Oh, my God. People are asking me. They're literally paying super chats, so I'll do a Blue Chew segue.
Should do it. Got to give the people what they want.
Well, I mean, we got to preview G1 Climax.
Ooh.
That's the thing. We got to preview the G1 Climax, but the thing is, if you want people reviewing your D1 Climax,
scholarships.
Visit BlueChew.com. You all know the drill. It's better than Viagra and Cialis. It's cheaper than Viagra and Cialis. It works better than Viagra and Cialis. Prescribed online, shipped straight to your door. You don't have to wait at a pharmacy. Gets in your system quicker because it's a chewable. And since this one's free, we're going to tell you that you can get it for free by using the code FIGHTFUL. We're not going into the full 2-minute spiel. We're not doing all that. But let me say, speaking of D1, that was a reference for dick. And people reviewing your dick game.
All
That's
right,
what Blue Chew will do for you. People are going to be leaving you those 5-star reviews, Andrew. Whether you're in the bedroom at the Tokyo Dome, it's 5 stars. You don't have to grade on a curve. I don't know if anybody's got a curve. That ain't my business. But I'm just saying, Blue Chew will make it work for you. But
use your young buck.
Oh. Andrew Stark, thank you. He says, wallet drop. IG the Kid says, please, I need a Blue Chew segment. Lonnie Barker says, Eric loves factions. Samoan bloodline faction? I wish. I would love Reigns and the Usos.
Need it. Oh, see, look, maybe you got them, New Day. Boom.
You know who else I would love in that faction? MLW's Jacob Fatu. I think he's going to be real good. I think he's going to be real good.
Man. And he's getting managed by Armando Estrada.
Yeah.
AEW. Yes, he is.
So Zachary Schimmel just hit us with a $50 goddamn super chat. And he says, I'm going to raise the goddamn bar. As a tier 3 Fightful Select patron, I announce my July plug to be used for plugging tier 3 of Fightful Select, please. Ball is in your court, Fightful community. So here's the thing. When you subscribe to Fightful Select and you do the tier 3, which is, I don't like to put the number on it. You can go there and see yourself, but it's a $50 tier. You can also use you can plug something once a month, whether it be beating me at fantasy football. That's what somebody plugged one time. Their Twitter or whatever. Zachary Schimmel has been a longtime subscriber of our tier 3 level and has been on multiple retro reviews. When you do that, if you save it up for 1 month, you get to pick something that we review. You can pick a column that one of us will write. You can request content, basically, whether it's an alternate commentary, retro review. If you save it up for 2 months, you can do that and appear on a show of your choice, whether it be the Raw show, retro show, whatever that may be. You also get a plug, and you get all the things that are in the tiers above. The Russo Reveals clip, Stupid People Extended, Fightful Wrestling Weekly early, match archives, early access to content, Jimmy Van's book. You get merchandise after a certain point, Q&A shows, all the stuff I mentioned earlier. Man.
The goods.
Speaking of the goods, Shane Haas sent a super chat and says, did the Good Brothers sign a new contract? I reached out about that and I have not heard back. A wrestler told me, quote, my gut says no, but that doesn't mean that they haven't. I would be shocked if they couldn't get, if WWE can put forth an awesome 2 months for these guys.
And I think that's exactly what's about to happen.
I do.
It's about to get real good for the club.
I think they could probably be talked into it. But my God, how much shit can you? They got signed to hurt New Japan, Andrew. That's what happened. Definitely. WildBoy87. He says this should make it 200 total for super chats. Guys, I can't tell you how important that is. When you all send super chats, that helps us pay Andrew. That helps us pay Jeremy. That helps us pay Ryan, Carlos, David, Warren. Helps us pay all these people. I don't ask people to work for free, so I appreciate that you all are willing to pay for good coverage or even contribute. I can't tell you how much this means to me. This is a very kind gesture that you all have made, and I know we've went on about it a lot tonight, but goddamn, we got a lot of super chats tonight. Andrew, you're going to be on every show now. I think it's your luck. You're the lucky charm. People are paying for you. Alex, you're fired. You're gone forever. They can't see you unless you talk with the sunglasses on, Andrew.
I think that's the thing. That's the thing.
So let's.
Oh yeah, I was about to say off to the predictions.
Yeah, we got to actually preview this show instead of glow about how generous people are to us, which I do truly appreciate.
We got 2 events this weekend.
There are 2 events this weekend, and I'm only covering one of them because Warren Hayes is committed to covering this New Japan G1 Dallas show. I don't know who he's going to have on, but I'm very excited for it.
Warren is the man. Yeah,
he's great, guys. I'm telling you, that retro review we did, just watch the preview clip. If nothing else, watch the free preview clip that's up on YouTube. It's great. Sho and Yo, Roppongi 3K against Tongaloa, Tamatanga, the Gorillas of Destiny. I love this match.
The junior heavyweights taking on the heavyweight tag team.
I love it. What have we been begging for?
A bigger tag team division in New Japan instead of Evil and Sonata versus God every big show. For this one, I'm going God.
Yeah, it's still gonna be them.
I like Sho and Yo, but sorry guys.
I fully believe that this could be the best match that God ever have.
Could be
in New Japan.
Definitely.
Now here's the good one. Tomohiro Ishii and Shota Umino against Narita and Cobb. I want Umino to get a win.
Man, if they have a young lion pin one of the established guys, that'll be the best.
I want Umino to win.
And then people would be so genuinely shocked by that. Like that would be like one of the best things. But that's gonna be a hard hit right there.
And man, I love the Umino stuff with Dean or John Moxley. It was so perfect, man.
Love it.
He's got a cult following now because of that.
Definitely.
It was unbelievable. I feel like he might end up eating the pin though.
Yeah.
And yeah. Cobb, honestly, the way that Ring of Honor went down last week, Cobb needs a win, man. That was a bummer. That I felt bad for him and for Matt Taven. They did not deserve that. They did not deserve to have their time cut from their match like that.
Yeah, that's Ring of Honor got their own thing going on right now, man.
Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto against Chase Owens and Jay White. Jay White's pinning somebody here.
Club for the victory.
That's got to happen.
Of course.
People are saying they can't hear you very well. Speak up a little bit.
I got you.
The fourth match, Jushin Thunder Liger, Juice Robinson, Toru Yano against Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Naito. I think Takagi is a future main event level competitor in New Japan. I think Juice Robinson is a future on the cusp to main event guy. I'm real disappointed he's not doing more with Ring of Honor because of his promo abilities. It's got to be Naito and Takagi and Bushi. It's got to be LIJ. What do you think?
I'm giving a win to LIJ. I feel like Juice, like after that, like after he lost, I was real interested to see what they were gonna do with Juice after he lost to Moxley. But like it's kind of feel like he just, back to what he was prior to being IWGP US Heavyweight Champion, just mid-card guy.
Yeah, probably just right back there. Will Ospreay versus Lance Archer. Will Ospreay's winning this match. You better if you put him on Access TV.
I don't think so. Really? I think they'll give it to Lance Archer. He the hometown boy. They've been doing they've been sending Lance Archer all around Dallas to do promo.
What? I mean, you're right.
Interviews for them. It'd be like, hey, thank you for being our quote unquote brand ambassador. Here's a win in the G1 against Will Ospreay.
That's really intuitive, and you're right. I think you may have changed my mind. Man, and hey, you know what? If anybody could make Lance Archer look like $1 million, it's Will Ospreay.
Definitely. And can we mention big ups to Seth Rollins for the bank account apology, sir?
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Nobody is above learning. I learn shit all the time. It's my favorite part of my job. You learn, you get better.
Definitely.
Evil against Bad Luck Fale. Fale isn't quite what he used to be. Evil, I think they want Evil to get about to the Fale level from a few years ago. And I think Evil will win this. It is the G1s. It's a little more unpredictable. What do you think?
I think it's going to go to some type of something where somebody doesn't get pinned, because I don't think they're going to pin Fale, because they never pin Fale like often. Like he never gets pinned in G1 tournaments unless it's like something big. So I think they probably going to go to some type of like outside interference. Bullet Club gets involved. Something like that, along those lines.
Up next, Sonata, Zack Sabre Jr. This is going to be a good one, but I got Zack Sabre winning this. I think I say he's a little bit more familiar with American viewers, but Sonata did wrestle for Impact, for TNA, for quite a while. I don't know how many people remember him from that, but yeah, you got Zack Sabre Jr. in there. I think he's got to win it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Zack Sabre Jr. right there. Easy call.
This is a big one. Kota Ibushi versus Kenta, and this is going to answer a lot of questions. If Kenta shits the bed here, that's bad news.
Yeah, man, because I see a lot of people, they've been, they blame WWE or he wasn't used properly. Well, I mean, to be fair to WWE, Kenta had like a whole bunch of surgeries, man. Like he couldn't stay healthy for nothing.
He couldn't stay healthy. A lot of people insinuated to me that he showed up not in shape, not safe in the ring. Both sides of that didn't get what they thought they were going to get.
I mean, look, this is his first go. Like, you got the G1, you got Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi make anybody look good. So, I mean, if Kenta don't show up.
So you think Kenta wins this? Because I mean, you almost have to, right?
Establish him out the gate. Yep. And I don't think it hurts Kota at all.
Then we get Okada Tanahashi. I love that they went here for this main event. You could have a lot of people complain about what kind of card they put on, and do they have a lot of tag matches? Yeah, they do. But they have some real good G1 matches here. And you can't go wrong with Okada versus Tanahashi on a goddamn Access show. You can't go wrong with it.
You know, a lot of people, they were calling for this match to happen like on the past US shows that New Japan has done. They wanted Okada and Tanahashi one-on-one. Never got it. Well, now you're getting it.
That's New Japan G1 Dallas. Mr. Warren Hayes, go ahead.
That match. I said, who you think's winning that?
Tanahashi.
I think they go time limit draw. 30-minute time limit draw.
Hey, that'd be good. That'd be good. Mr. Warren Hayes is reviewing that. Go follow him at Mr. Warren Hayes. He does so much good work for us. His 205 Live NXT UK review will be up on Friday this week, guys. But there is no better reviewer of those programs than Warren Hayes. You all got to check it out. I've been doing shows with him for about a year now, and he does incredible. Despite his untimely internet passing, we've got just a wealth of super chats that say, Warren Hayes, question mark to 2019. Gone but never forgotten. R.I.P. Warren Hayes. Predictions for Impact Slammiversary, close to 200. Yes, we are going to make our predictions for Impact Slammiversary. I will be here Sunday, even though apparently, Andrew, I do not cover Impact Wrestling. If you would believe.
We don't interview Impact wrestlers. We don't do anything involving Impact. Apparently.
There's one website that interviews more Impact Wrestling stars than us on the entire. Impact doesn't interview more Impact wrestlers than us.
Those are the facts.
Speaking of, guys, this week I had my new long form feature. I didn't plug it this week. Killer Cross. Go to the exclusive section. I'm very proud of that. That article, very, very near and dear to my heart because of his style. But let's go ahead and get into it. Impact Slammiversary. First blood match, Killer Cross and Eddie Edwards. They want Eddie Edwards to be Tommy Dreamer 2.0 so bad. I don't know why, because Tommy Dreamer 1.0 is still working there.
Man, I honestly don't get what they're trying to do with Eddie Edwards, but I feel like he's about to win this match. I really do. Just how they've been going with the storyline. I feel like, because I mean, the whole Killer Cross trying to take away the kendo stick thing, and like, I feel like they're gonna have Eddie Edwards go over here.
And you know what I think they almost need to do? They need to have a visual of Killer Cross bleeding from the head. Mm-hmm. Like that guy bleeding from his forehead, blood running down his face, crazy look on it. That can sell you some tickets in the future.
Definitely. You want to know what I think they probably do? Have Killer Cross be the one bleeding, but he's the one that leaves the match like on top. Even though he lost the match, like he's gonna want to be the one that beat down Eddie Edwards. Up next, Sami Callihan versus Tessa Blanchard. I think Tessa will find a way to win. That is their China. Only I think that Tessa, no disrespect to China, Tessa is infinitely more talented in the ring. Tessa is definitely top 3 women's wrestlers in the world. She's up there just professional wrestlers in the world in general. Like she's really, really good. But wasn't she supposed to take on Eli Drake at that United We Stand show? So here's what happened with that. They wanted her to face Moose. Moose said no. And given Moose's history with domestic situations, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I don't know if that's what motivated it, by the way, because I'm pretty sure he's wrestled women since then. But I can't say that for sure. I don't want to say something that isn't true. But I get it. I get why he wouldn't want to do that considering that history. Then, without even asking Eli Drake, they advertised Tessa Blanchard versus Eli Drake. And he was like, well, I don't want to do this either. And do I agree with some of his points? Not really. But some of them I do, and it's his prerogative. Anyway, Moose is fighting Rob Van Dam on this show. Rob Van Dam has not had great work since he's been back. He told me straight up, hey, man, I'm back for the money. Yeah, I saw that at a couple interviews. Rob Van Dam, he ain't mixing it up about nothing. He's just saying, look, I'm back for the money. Impact has the money to pay me, so there it is. Yeah, so who do you got for Moose and Rob Van Dam, and who do you got for Sammy and Tessa? So for Sammy and Tessa, she's been beating on the OVE members on TV, so I think she's gonna. See, I don't know, because Sammy Callahan, he really is like a real key piece in Impact, and so is Tessa.
Yeah.
But that's a hard one. But I'm gonna say Tessa.
I could see Tessa Blanchard versus Charlotte Flair. I could see it main eventing WrestleMania.
Banger.
Yeah. I think that those two women and Becky Lynch at this point scream winner almost more than any performer in wrestling. Tessa Blanchard, everything she does looks like she's doing it to win a pro wrestling match, and I admire that. Taya Valkyrie defends against Su Yung, Rosemary, and Havoc. I do not like the whole Su Yung, Rosemary, or Havoc thing. So I hope Taya wins. I hope she emerges victorious here because she has developed into just a really, really good performer for them. And I like that. I don't want the Knockouts Championship tied up in all that underworld horse shit that goes on.
That's where it's going. That is exactly where it's going. Oh yeah, for Moose and RVD. By the way, do you know if RVD stand with Impact after this? Like, this is it? Because I think if he's not staying, I think they definitely gonna have Moose win.
Oh, I think Moose should win anyway. Moose should have been their champion last year.
Big facts. That is facts.
Moose is literally modern day Monty Brown, a hot pro wrestler that has buzz and talent, has an athletic NFL background, can cut promos, gets the crowd to chant friggin' Moose at him. And they're like, no, not yet. Oh, yeah, let's turn you heel when you should have won the championship. That's dumb, man.
He was in the first Monsters Ball match, wasn't he? With Abyss and Raven.
One of them. Monty Brown should have been the guy that carried Impact up until like 2010. Should have been. But they dropped the ball. Speaking of dropping the ball, LAX's contracts are up soon. They defend against the Rascals.
They're going to decide that this week is Desmond versus Zach versus Trey, and the person who gets pinned doesn't go to Slammiversary to compete for the tag titles.
For those unfamiliar, it's a 3-man team. So the three teammates are facing each other. I love this.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a real good idea. That's creative. And you could always, that adds a little bit of turmoil to their group too. So,
yeah. Adds stakes to a random match on Impact. I think the Rascals might win this just because of the contract status of LAX.
That's a smart move. Like, if LAX hasn't re-signed, you're not just going to keep the belts on. I'm like, hey, hope you guys re-sign. You're still our champions.
And to be honest with you, LAX is bulletproof in Impact Wrestling. I would argue at this point, you could only say that maybe Beer Money and America's Most Wanted are maybe better tag teams all time in Impact than this iteration of LAX.
Isn't Conan on the creative team?
Yeah.
Well,
all right. X Division Championship. Rich Swann defends against Johnny Impact. I'm really happy that Rich Swann is getting this spot after his exit from WWE probably didn't go the way that it was supposed to or should have went, but I think he needs to beat Johnny Impact here too. Johnny Impact does not need this Impact X Division Championship. Rich Swann does need it, and I think he should win this.
I do think Rich Swann is going to, like, he does deserve to win. He should win, but I feel like they're going to give it to Johnny Impact.
Oh, yeah, they got a boner for Johnny Impact.
I feel like they just going to give him the title win.
Main event time.
Man.
Brian Cage and Michael Elgin. This is going to have a lot of people feeling some kind of way. I think Elgin's going to win.
Yeah, man. Oh, I don't know if you saw it, but Moose, he called out Brian Cage on Twitter.
I did.
Brian Cage, like, he was talking about him going against Kenny Omega and AEW, and Moose is like, the hell are you worried about AEW
He said, who gives a fuck? I don't care if we get this demonetized. We've got like a ton of super chats. Who cares? Jimmy's going to be thrilled. Yeah.
He called him out. And, you know, was that thing about Brian Cage being backstage at Double or Nothing, that was legit, right?
Yeah, he was there.
He was supposed to wrestle.
I mean, we saw him there all week. Oh, yeah, he was all around. But, I mean, the thing is, Man, somebody will fucking tag him in this, but he's a very nice dude. But it seems like in these big matches, he gets blown up real quick. And he got hurt last time around.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault, but I mean, yeah.
If he's blown up, maybe. I don't know. I don't know whose fault it was.
He does get tired in these matches, but I do think they're gonna get the title to Elgin right here.
Yeah,
definitely.
Charles Haskins, thank you for the super chat. He says, "Can you see Sarita and Rosita reuniting for a tag run?" Sarah Stock, I think, is done in the ring. I don't think she'll be doing that anymore, so I doubt it. Guys, make sure you all follow Andrew at AD Thompson __.
Folks, it is a busy week next week. You got Evolve 10th anniversary, Fight for the Fallen, and you got Extreme Rules. Wrestling is good.
I love it, man. Guys, thank you all so much for your support. We are going to try to go live tomorrow with the list and your boy. Thank you all so much. This is overwhelming. It was generous, all that stuff. I'm blown away. I can't tell you how much this means to us. Hey, also, I appreciate the people who don't whine when Alex isn't on the show. You know how many comments we had about, we miss Alex today? 0. Because you all don't miss Alex. You don't care about him. And that's okay. Because we'll care about him for you. Just like we care about each and every one of you. Andrew, what are you doing with those goddamn sunglasses?
Drew Cassidy.
We're out.